look at the fact that Ochila Yako was there, Anyang Nyong'o was there, Junet was there. We'll get back to that. But let's talk to Junet, who was also there. And Mheshimiwa, who is incidentally my MP Wallace. Junet Mohammed now joins us on phone. Mheshimiwa, good morning. In studio is Wallace Kentai. We lost Junet, so we'll try and get back to him. But the fact that the former Secretary General was there, and we had Junet, who is a party official, and we had deputy party leader in Migori, and we had an aspirant, Ochilo Ayako, also, and all these people came to his rally, and we have an incumbent. Does that sit well with you?
You know what? I don't propose to look at this thing from what do I call the granular level, what necessarily happened yesterday in that particular rally in Migori. We'd perhaps be better off looking at this thing from a wider point of view. We have reached a point which starts to worry me because sometimes you feel like as if it's a precursor to bigger things, which is political campaigning. We're starting to accept that it can be contentious and violent. We're starting to accept that maybe if you don't have a meeting point as politicians, then you have options to do it. And so that to me is a big worry. So it may happen in Migori yesterday, it may happen somewhere else tomorrow, it may happen somewhere else next week. And the problem is once it desensitizes people to violence, the next thing is going to become that these people decide to have militias. So you say, if I'm going to go somewhere and get violent, I'm going to have a lorry full of boys behind me. And this is what leads to very serious outcomes. So for me, it's not necessarily about yesterday, who was right, who was wrong, or whatever. Is that if you're accepting that violence is a big thing, then it becomes an issue.
All right, let's get it from Junet Mohammed. As I mentioned earlier, Suna East Member of Parliament, who is now joining us live on phone. Mheshimiwa, from where you sit, what is your story? What happened yesterday?
You see, Ken, I wanted to do a political activity in my constituency, called Suna East constituency, and I invited friends and relatives and constituents to come and join me in my activity. And I expected as a public function, any other person who may have interest can attend also. So I went to the constituency on Saturday, and then on Sunday I met meet the people tour, informing them that we are going to have a function on Monday. So there's a stadium in our place where towards your home, you know it. So we wanted to do the function there, and we mounted our equipment there on Sunday for the use of Monday. I was called by the county commander, and told me to remove those items from that place, the podium and public address system. In the wee hours of the night, at 3 a.m., is when he woke me up. And he told me that these are instructions from above. And you know, when there are instructions from above, you know who they're coming from. So we decided to remove the things. By morning, we are done at 7:30, and we identified another venue called there, and we mobilized the town. So my guest came in around 1:30, and we drove straight to the venue. I wanted to go to my home first, then Governor Obado stationed the people on the road and stoned us near his office. We returned back and we went to the rally venue, where we started now doing our rally. Now, when the people, I think the seventh person came up to speak, the rest of the people have spoken, which was Professor Anyang Nyong'o. The Governor Obado came from nowhere and just stormed the place and went straight to the podium. The people demanded.
Honorable Junet, this is Wallace Kantai, and you were with us last week on Sidebar discussing the issue of party nominations and how the different parties and coalitions are faring, and you seem to indicate that your coalition was okay, you'll have the nominations okay. The nominations haven't even happened, and already there's violence in which gunshots are fired. Does it not worry you that as we go on into the nomination season and into the election, this is going to become worse?
Yeah, I agree with you. It is really a criminal activity to interrupt people from doing their political activities. And this is not about nomination, actually. This is about impunity. The governor is saying that you cannot bring any visitor to your constituency without his permission, without his consent. It's not about, I can invite somebody to my home to do anything I feel like. The nomination will be decided by the people through voting. So it's not about the nomination. He can also invite his own guests. The other day he was with my party chairman, John Badi, at a huge function in a place called Rapogi. We never complained. barely 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago.
Mheshimiwa,
So
was the governor invited for that function?
Who?
Was the governor invited for your function, knowing that he's the CEO of the county?
So does it mean if you want to do a function in Kenya, you must invite Uhuru Kenyatta because he's the CEO of the country?
No, in Migori especially.
It doesn't work that way. You have practiced. It is my function as the MP for Suna East. I invite anybody I feel like inviting. You can't tell me. I am also representing the people in that place.
All right.
So you can't tell me you must invite the governor.
All right. The governor was...
a criminal.
Yeah, he was not invited. However, his opponent...
And the police advised him not to attend the rally.
Okay.
It's on record. It's in the standard newspapers. The CID county director confessed and said he advised the governor not to attend the rally. The governor invaded our rally with booms and police cars full of anti-riot police.
Okay. Mheshimiwa Junet, he was not invited and you don't have to invite it. Very true.
Yes.
But why was his opponent invited, knowing that the former Secretary General was there? You were there as a party official. The deputy party leader was also present.
I did not invite his opponent. All aspirants for every seat in that county appeared and came. People who wanted MCS, people who wanted Senate, people who wanted women rep, people who wanted, even some, I think, aspirants of governors were there.
Okay.
You know, people even from other constituencies who were aspirants came there. I did not invite. It was a public function, and they came in their own volition and accord.
Honorable Junet Mohammed, if we may just widen this again to sort of the broader topics, what then happens within your party and coalition to avoid such things happening, especially as things get more heated? Is it a party discipline issue? Is it things that involve national police? How do you intend to resolve these kind of issues? Because they seem very heated.
This matter, I agree with you. First, we must tame hooliganism, and we must make, do our nominations with the decorum. But this matter of ours of yesterday was beyond our party. This matter was a state-organized and orchestrated chaos. It's the same trend of what was happening in Peketuni, in Kinango, in Kwale, and now it was happening in Migori. The only thing we need to, ascertain is whether the governor was playing a role in it, because, he's a member of another party, which has associations with Jubilee, as far as we know. So we don't know whether he was perpetuating what the state was intending to do. But it was the way the police attacked us was much bigger than any other hooliganism you can think of. But I agree with you, Wallace Kansai, that we must tame hooliganism and destruction of other people's activities.
And that's the point I'm making, Honorable Mohammed, is exactly what can be done. So if your claim is held up that it might have some sort of official sanction, surely you must have a role to play in saying, even if people come from outside, here is what we will do to ensure that the violence doesn't reach us.
I agree. Wallace, if we were ready for a fight, if we were ready to perpetuate what was happening, we will have forced ourselves into the stadium. And people will have been, killed by police, will have said, we will not use any other venue other than the stadium. But once they denied us that venue, we went to another venue. Number two, I want the party to investigate this matter and bring to book any culprit, including myself, if I've played any role, and take action.
Okay.
So that it can be a lesson to other people.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, I'm still very interested in the politics of Migori, and for obvious reasons. Now, one other activity that was supposed to be conducted yesterday was to launch the party office. We know, and it's on record, that the Migori governor has also an office that was built for the same purpose that has not been launched to date. And secondly, you said that it was very peaceful until the governor joined in. We have a soundbite of Mheshimiwa Nyong'o endorsing his opponent at your function. Don't you think those are some of the recipes that led to this violence?
You see, endorsement does not mean winning an election. Even now, I'm endorsing it. Even the party chairman was at his function endorsing him. That does not give him credit. That does not make Governor Obado to win by being endorsed by John Badi, the chairman of the party. That is somebody expressing his opinion. And after all, Nyang Nyong'o is not an official of ODM. He's just expressing his opinion. Then number two, the party has bona fide officials in Migori County. It has a chairman, a secretary, an election was done. Then they have an office. So we were to visit their offices as a courtesy call because they are officials of our party. The office of governors open was declined by the party. It's not the party's offices. It is his own campaign secretariat. And he wanted the party leader to open one time, and it was never opened. So I don't think we need to mix issues here. You can't impose party officials on the people when he knows the chairman of the county is Mr. Makabogo.
Okay.
And we are going to his office to visit him and pay a courtesy call on him.
Okay. Mheshimiwa, finally for me, the last time Governor Joho, not exactly the last time, but there's a time he tried to have a rally somewhere in the coast that was not his county, and there was violence. Now, he's tried to have a rally in Migori, where he's not also his county, and there was violence. Do you think your deputy party leader has violence following him all over, and you might just consider going to rallies with him?
Precisely, Ken. You've put the point on the spot. This, you look at his rallies. Who are the people who are destroying his rallies? The people. It is the police. If you check the Mpeketoni, if you look at Kinango, it is the police that came and dispersed people. The same thing yesterday, it was the police that dispersed people from the rally. The rally was going on very well. If we have done anything wrong, the governor can also invite other leaders the following day and have his own rally. And to tell people that we are not speaking the truth. So it is the police who are being put to make sure that Joho does not hold any rally in Kenya. That's what came out yesterday. Right. And to the extent of even shooting at his car where he was seated and bullets went through the car and shattered one of the windows. So it's a clear manifestation that the state is after that man's life.
All right.
And it must be taken very serious.
Thank you, Junaid Mohammed, Suna East Member of Parliament. He was also present. Let's conclude this, Wallace. Looking at Junaid and what he says, I'm just looking at a spin and a twist to everything that happened. You will never get the truth out of this story.
The key question is, and I want this to be remembered and maintained as long as this election period is going on, unless we put all these violent events into context and look at them as part of a wider pattern of violent elections, then we'll keep on treating these things in isolation. So even if you're to call the police here, police will say, yes, we're dealing with this and we're investigating and we're doing all that. If you get party leaders in here, they'll say the same thing. We're looking at this thing, we're investigating. But it's part of a wider pattern where violence is accepted as a way of resolving disputes. Violence is accepted as a way of disrupting people if what Junaid Mohammed is saying might be true, that it's officially sanctioned. We're seeming to accept violence the same way he started accepting violence in 2007. And it leads to wider things. And to me, what we should do is say this is part of a pattern. Any violence of any kind shall be very heavily sanctioned. If it's official, then official ways take place. If it's intra-party arguments, then let the party sort it out, but also it has got a criminal component, and let that be sorted out. Unless we look at this thing as part of a wider issue, we'll be looking at it in isolation.
Okay, and obviously he mentioned that the party needs to see and to find the root cause of this violence. And we understand this morning that they have all been summoned to the party headquarters as investigations into that violence begin. And of course, policemen have also begun. We will probably get back to that topic a little bit later on.